Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vijeta, and today I will be talking about a movie that has been a subject of debate for so many years. It has been the trendsetter of sorts because you see, uh, Twilight is a movie that has been known for how can I say, like, there was a time when people loved it very much, and there was a time that when people hated it very much, and it kind of became a fashion to hate on Twilight around I don't know, around 2016 or 17 or before that. And then Lindsay Ellis, she put on a video about Twilight, saying that, well, it's not so bad after all. And a lot of other creators also started to think about this trend of Twilight and how a lot of the things that is liked by teenage girls is targeted a lot. I mean, Twilight is trashy, but in the same way, a lot of other movies like the boy movies are also trashy, but they are not talked about, like The Fast and the Furious. It's no Schindler's List or any other moving movie. But the thing is that Lindsay's point was that a lot of people hate what teenage girls usually like. So maybe Twilight was that movie which became a sort of the thing that people should hate because it was generally liked by a lot of preteen girls. For me, I actually arrived late. The thing is that my friends loved Twilight, and they were all reading the books and all. I had seen Twilight, but I was not very sure if I liked it or not. I mean, I thought about it as a movie which was good, but I was not a super big fan of it. That was that. So, and at the age of 19, I read the books, and they felt fine to me because I have read more books. I mean, I have read the Vampire Diaries, and Twilight was definitely better than that, and it was a fine novel. It shouldn't have been the subject of so much hate. I don't know. It just became a fashion to hate on Twilight, and that is why I think people started hating it. I mean, it was big on the content creation at that time that people have to hate on it, whether it be the movie people, whether it be the book people. And some of the creators really put some good, valid points about against the movie, but the for the creators, the people who were for the movie, they also put some very interesting points. One of them being not taking the movie too seriously, and others. And for me, it has just been a movie, and yeah, Twilight has been big in India. But yeah, for me, Twilight was fine. It was just a movie. So, Twilight is a fantasy romance drama movie, and it was directed by Catherine Hardwicke. In the beginning, the first part of the movie is actually an indie. It was an indie movie originally, and I think the first Twilight movie, which was Twilight, I think it was a lot better than the other movies because the other movies felt more commercially. A lot of people say that they felt a little more commercially superficial, and the first movie had that indie feel to it. The visual effects and all, they had a certain charm to it, a certain rawness that an indie movie can provide, and Twilight, being Twilight, had that kind of a dreamy atmosphere. It was based on in a small town with a bunch of supernatural creatures surrounding the whole area, and it was good that an indie movie based on a small ghostly town, it felt right. It was able to create that kind of an atmosphere. So yeah, Catherine Hardwicke, she was the one who directed the movie, and it starred Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, Taylor Lautner. Basically, as you all know, it's a movie about Bella Swan. She is a shy kind of a teenager who really doesn't fit at all, and her parents have been separated, and she has come to live with her father. she's a good girl. I mean, she is a good girl that is there. In the books, it has been told that Bella has a very, how can I say, a very, she has a morning routine, a very strict morning routine, it seems. She gets up, brushes her teeth, makes breakfast, makes dinner for her father, reads, that kind of a thing. And the best thing about how Bella is portrayed in the books, that the thing is that not a big deal out of it has been made. It's just Bella just does it anyway, and it has been her own decision to come to folks, and she is not really very melodramatic about it. It seems to me. A lot of people might differ. So yeah, she moves to the rainy town of Forks, Washington, and finds her life transformed when she meets Edward Cullen, who is actually a vampire. And yeah, as their romance intensifies, Bella is drawn deeper to Edward, his supernatural world, and the dangers that come with it. What works for me basically in the movie is like the atmospheric visuals. The cold blue gray color palette that they have used is perfect, and the overcast setting of Folks is top notch because it captures the eerie and mysterious mood of the story very well. The cinematography and location choices help immerse viewers in the melancholic world of the film. And there are certain scenes in the movie, like when Edward and Bella are climbing the trees. That is a very beautiful scene. I just watched it again, and I was mesmerized. I'm not gonna lie. The chemistry and characterization. The chemistry between Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson is palpable, although it seems awkward. Maybe it was intentionally awkward, and Stewart has that brooding awkwardness, and Pattinson also has that brooding, conflicted Edward, and I think they did their job pretty well, although a lot of people differ from me. But it's complicated to say whether they did it very well or they did it very poorly. I would go with the fact that they were fine. They were fine in their roles. The soundtrack is actually a standout element. It features the haunting tracks from Muse, Paramore, and Carter Burwell's, original score, the Bella's Lullaby, and it matches the film's blue color gray palette, you know, gray color palette, and the emotional tone, and the mood swings. In the baseball game, the sound, the songs, the choices of the songs were perfect. And it was a unique take on vampires, not gonna lie. I mean, right now we can mock it all we want, but in 2005, I think, uh, you know, the author, Stephanie, actually brought something new to the table. And a lot of people would say that, vampires sparkling in the sunlight is ridiculous. But it had its own unique identity, and there was a discussion. It sparked discussion, so that was something. There are certain things which don't work. The pacing can sometimes feel uneven, especially in the first half. Dialogues often lean into melodrama, which sounds ridiculous because there are conversations that are very stilted sometimes, and it becomes unintentionally comical. Overly serious tone. The film takes itself very seriously, which can make certain scenes feel overly dramatic or unintentionally funny. And the emotional intensity is cranked up from the start, which can either immerse or alienate the viewer. The special effects, although I should cut some slack because the special effects during the action scenes, like Edward running or climbing trees, you know, a lot of people might say that they haven't aged well because they are kind of dated, but I think the color palette compensates for that. My final thoughts are Twilight can be polarizing, but it was a cultural phenomenon. While it's flawed in its execution, especially in dialogue and sometimes in CGI, it resonates with viewers, especially young viewers, because of its emotional core and its moody aesthetic. And for fans of teen romance with a supernatural twist, it offers something which is intense, brooding, and it actually marked the beginning of a franchise that would define a generation, to be sure. My verdict will be that Twilight is flawed, yet it is iconic, and it succeeded in capturing the attention. It succeeded in capturing the angst of young women, young girls. And if you embrace its melodrama, it can be quite entertaining. So that are my final thoughts on Twilight. Let me know what you think about Twilight, and I will meet you all in the next video. Thank you.